tapes, the record company, he's not kidding. The guy at the beginning doing She Bangs, She Bangs, he's just some kid who's come in to have fun. This guy thinks he's good. His parents have told him now that he's had a few lessons. He thinks he's good. And it's a proper function of professionals from the industry to say to people, do you know what? The quicker you understand that you have not the beginnings of a hope of a chance to ever be anything to do with music, and you should stop this in your life very quickly, I believe that's a perfectly valid function. It gives us a good TV moment as well, but I don't think we're doing anything wrong there. Sometimes they do a slightly different thing. Sometimes they try to find the positive in the negative.
Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test. You know you've got to make him express how he feels. And baby, then you know your love is real.
Girls, you know, I've seen so many groups like you.
We're different now. We're really good.
I don't think
and
you are.
We want it so bad.
I don't think you are. I mean, first of all, they're like your dancers.
I think she's pretty good.
I think you're really good, and if you'll excuse me, girls, she really doesn't need you to. You're really good on your own.
I'm going to make a suggestion, girls, because this is a bit unfair. I think you need to go out there and have a conversation amongst yourselves, and if you want to come back on your own, we'll see you.
Right.
All right, so you go and sort it out.
Now, we do that more and more these days, and I think, again, it's a perfectly valid thing to do. These girls, again, are trying to build a career together. They're presumably school friends. I don't know what the background is, but they're clearly working together as a unit, and they're getting the benefit of very experienced industry professionals saying to them, you know what? I've got to tell you right now, like Brian Epstein said to the Beatles, the drummer's no good, we don't want him. Actually, it was Ringo and they kept him, but even though he missed the beats at the time. You've got somebody with a reasonable amount of professional experience saying, you know what, there's some talent here, but you're holding yourself back. I think they're perfectly valid things. The other point I'd make is, and I haven't got tape from way back, but again, people say to me, it's all very 21st century, this kind of cynicism, this kind of laughing at people. These shows had a critical element in them from way back, the beginning, from Opportunity Knocks and so on, at the very beginning. New Faces, certainly a UK format, had a very critical element to it. I'm going to take one slightly more recently than that, from the end of the last century, when Pop Stars, the Australian format, started to run out. This was one of the big news stories around that. The first time that I think people had seen professional producers actually doing their job on camera.
Hey, Nigel, what did you think of that? Nigel, here he is, nasty Nigel. Not Louise, never mind Louise. What did you think of me there?
You need to lose some weight. You are going on show in 6 weeks from now. 6 weeks. And I want you looking the best and feeling the best you can. And it's all right saying, oh, Christmas was there, and, well, the goose has gotten fat.
Do you think I'm fat?
I think you've put weight on over Christmas, and I think you needed to lose weight before Christmas, yeah?
Now, she went on to join the group and is now a successful actress in one of our soaps. So it didn't do her any harm, but it caused a huge story at the time. And interestingly, I showed this clip to a group of young, very young entry-level people, you know, 18 to 21-year-olds, last week in Edinburgh. And they were outraged. I was genuinely, one of the reasons that you do those more junior festivals, it's interesting to hear what that generation thinks. And they didn't remember seeing this. It's maybe 10 years old. They were outraged. They said, he can't say that to her. I'm afraid my answer is he absolutely can say that to her. He's a professional producer. He's not looking for the 3 Tons of Joy or Mahalia Jackson. He's looking for a young girl band. And if he thinks she's putting on weight, which he clearly did, he can absolutely say it to her. It would certainly be said to her in much less pleasant terms, very clear terms, in the confines of a professional rehearsal studio or a recording studio. And I think he's got every right to do that. And I think that's really what happened from the rather constructed kind of nasty critic that we used to have in the early shows, and which Simon Cowell has now taken to a different level. What these shows did was bring the audition and selection professional process into the television room. And this is what goes on all the time. All of us who do it know that if you're working with a cast, you have to work hard with them, and you have to ensure that they're in the best shape to go forward. But I think what I'm saying is, if you go back into the beginning of these shows, they had a certain tone of voice, and undoubtedly, in the early stages, that was to be cruel.